Welcome to the Daisy Show. My name is Andrew. This is Beck.
Hello.
Let's get into it.
Okay, great.
So how you doing?
Fine. How are you doing?
Well, you know cat shit?
Yeah.
The shit that actually comes out of a cat?
Yeah.
So if you take that, warm it up in a microwave, tip it on the floor and then stamp
That's
on
you
it.
right now.
That's me right now, yeah.
Okay, so you're having a hard day today. I was having a hard day yesterday.
Yeah, you were in struggle street.
Which is why I took an extra full rest day and 4 hours extra sleep.
Wow.
In addition to my normal amount of sleep.
You obviously needed it.
But today I feel excellent. And then I went and I trained legs. Did my booty training at 9. Yay.
Oh, you just think you're better than everybody, don't you?
No,
yeah, so I was up on a conference call until 3:30 in the morning and then couldn't wind down till 4:30. So I'm absolutely trashed. And then you know all that health and fitness advice that I hand out to my clients.
Yeah.
I'm running
I don't like to follow it.
I'm running this experiment where I just ignore all of that and then just see what happens.
And see how long it takes for you to die.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's life at the moment.
Yeah, it's not good. But yeah, so I came up with the idea today for the podcast. That is, I wanted to talk to you about preventing burnout and injury, I guess, in clients and people in general, but especially when you have a long-term goal. So
this isn't actually an intervention or a personal attack on me.
No, but I do have some helpful tips for you.
Oh, good. I need a lot of help.
Okay, so the burnout rule is 42%, and that means that 42% of the time people should be resting both their mental brains and their physical beings. So that is 10 hours out of every 24 hours of a day.
Interesting.
So that means that you'd be sleeping for maybe 7-8 hours if you're normal.
8 hours the ideal. Who actually gets that? I don't know.
Anyway, is that better?
It's way better. It's like a different person.
Okay. I feel like something's in my eye. Can we just cut this out?
No. This is gold.
Okay.
42%, 10 hours. 8 hours sleep and 2 hours of what?
Still I can't see.
You're not missing much over here, let me tell you.
Okay. Oh, I'm Devo. Okay, no, it's fine. Yep, it's fine. So like 8 hours sleeping and then 2 hours of like resting, scrolling, reading a book, whatever it is you do to like wind down after like working all day, dealing with your kids screaming at you, all that jazz. Training, everything. So that is to prevent burnout, which I don't think you would have had 10 hours rest per day when you were doing the 75 hard.
I don't know.
Well, because you're waking up super early.
Yeah, but I had a strict bedtime.
Okay.
So
maybe you were.
Maybe. Well, you're defining the 2 hours of rest time as like doom scrolling is included in that. But is that resting your brain or is that just winding you up? Because most social media algorithms are tuned to
wind you up.
Make you cranky about things.
I just mean like not doing work.
Yeah, not doing work.
So not like what you're doing at night, like when you're typing and planning things and working on things and like not coaching people, all that. And then obviously not walking or running or doing any training or movement. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that 42% is a minimum. Like, not optimum, but minimum. Because I feel like I waste enough time. Okay, let's assume that I slept. If I slept...
Last night?
Ever. Okay. If I slept and then you add that to the time spent being unproductive and useless, which would be downtime, I think that would be, 10 hours, maybe more. And then I'd still have the capacity to get burnt out. So, yeah, it's interesting, that number. But I think that's a minimum.
Yeah, okay. And so let's talk about your tips that you give to clients to prevent them from injuring themselves or burning out when it comes to training. So for me, for my clients, I usually, after about 8 weeks or 12 weeks, depending on the person, of the same training, then I will do a deload week and a refeed week, where I'll give like slightly more carbs and fats, and then deload. So lifting about 50% of the max weight, like what they were normally lifting. And then also only 3 days training and no cardio.
Right.
Yeah, so it is like a rest
An
week.
aggressive rest.
Yeah. But then I would say in general, most clients, I'll always give them at least 1 or 2 full rest days per week. And I like to follow that advice myself as well. So what do you do with your clients?
Well, you've kind of defined it a bit broadly there because you've got burnout and injury.
Yeah.
So injury you prevent just by training properly.
Correct.
That's the biggest single thing you can do.
Correct technique. Make sure you're lifting correctly. Make sure you're doing progressive overload so you don't go from 0 to 50 kilogram squats in 1 week. I mean, not 0, sorry. Whatever the barbell is, and then the next week you're doing...
Whatever the barbell is.
20. There's some small barbells.
She's never been to the gym. She doesn't know what a barbell weighs.
No, they have small ones at the Obsidian.
Fake barbells.
They have pink ones, yeah. Yeah, so progressive overload, proper technique, which means you should probably get your coach to check your training to make sure you're doing it properly before you do engage in progressive overload. Like, for example, this week I had one of my clients send me a bunch of deadlift videos, and she had previously hurt her back and had like, is it like the cortisone injections and stuff like that, and like it had happening quite a bit over and over again. And then I watched her deadlifts and I was like...
and screamed in horror.
Yeah. And so that was like for standard deadlifts and RDLs, but then I watched her trap bar deadlift and it was like excellent. So I was like, okay, so we're just going to do trap bar deadlifts for a while, and that solves all problems. So that's
avoids all problems. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't want to be doing things poorly and then start lifting heavier with terrible technique, because then you're definitely going to get injured. But also, you and I don't do this, but warming up and warming down is probably beneficial for most human beings. So, like, if you're doing leg day, I would say you should warm up your body by, like, walking on the treadmill or moving your legs around, stretching a little bit, things like that.
Well, we're perpetually warm. But getting back to your...
Yeah, that's true.
Getting back to your progressive overload thing, I don't think that's a realistic problem. Because if you're training properly, if you then add 50 kilos, you don't lift 50 kilos and then, ow, I hurt myself. You just don't lift it because you can't.
That's true.
So I wouldn't want people to go, well, because there's two ends of the spectrum when it comes to sort of injury management or risk management. There's the people like me who'll go, my elbow has hurt for the last 3 weeks doing bench presses.
Yeah.
Maybe next week it won't hurt, so I'll do bench presses again. So there's that kind of idiot. And then at the other end of the spectrum is the person who something hurt, so I'll wrap myself in cotton wool and not do anything ever. And I don't know what the proportion of the population is at which end. And there's a big grey area in the middle where you go, well, am I pussing out or am I being smart about my exercise selection, my technique selection, etc. But I mean, I tend to just push people to go hard because I think most people are in that
going hard enough.
Pussified end of the spectrum where we have such a cotton wool wrapped, modern, technological, comfortable lifestyle where nobody experiences discomfort or pain or anything ever, pretty much. So we think discomfort and pain is necessarily bad because it's a severe departure from normal life. That the instinct is to avoid it, but you actually want to lean into pain and discomfort, otherwise you're not training properly. So, yeah, I wouldn't like to put too much of a message out there about pussing out is good, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think people will bias in that direction. Most people will bias in that direction, I think. And yeah, so don't be scared of progressive overload, because if you are training properly, like if you do your 1 rep max deadlift and it's 100 kilograms and then you do 130, whatever you do at 130, it's no longer a deadlift. It's something else. It's some sort of a dog taking a shit, spine snapping exercise.
Bad.
So I guess the realities of progressive overload will slow you down for you, so long as you're training properly. And something else you mentioned in there as well is exercise selection. Like, if you like, do you want results in your body? Or like, you trying to improve body composition and get stronger, or are you trying to learn the skill of an exercise? So where do you want to invest your time and attention? So in like 8-week challenges and things, I'll have people just do leg press. Just sit and push. Because if they have to learn to squat and they spend 4 weeks getting their technique basically okay, well, they've had 4 weeks of learning a skill instead of 4 weeks of the results that you want. So I kind of like dumbing it down to just do something that is within your capability right now in terms of skill, in terms of mobility, in terms of what gels with your body, so that you're getting results. Because that's what's going to keep people motivated, is getting the results. And then maybe when you've got the results, it's not so much a priority to improve my body composition. I have to get way stronger because I'm weak. I have to get way leaner because I'm fat. Whatever. Once you pass that, then you can go, oh, I'd like to learn how to squat properly.
Yeah.
And then you could invest time in it, but you're not wasting time failing to get results because you're working on technique. And also,
That's a good point.
there are some exercises that some people just will never like.
Yes.
Like
Bulgarians. I would never like them.
Bulgarians. Okay, so no one will ever like Bulgarians. But I mean, I've never felt comfortable in a traditional hack squat machine. It's just, it always feels weird. But then some pendulum squats, some V squat machines, some sort of similar takes on this, a similar concept.
Belt squat.
Belt squat, yeah, great.
Yeah, belt squat's great.
These sorts of things,
that.
I'm fine with that, So should I invest a whole bunch of time and effort trying to make one exercise work for me, or should I just choose the things that already do? Like, if it's going to stimulate a similar result, and I don't go, oh, my knees feel weird, I'm worried my knees are going to explode in this thing, just don't. And then that's how you avoid injuries, maybe.
Yeah.
Is kind of the way that I would approach it. Train properly. It's always good if you could stay like 20 to 25 years old. That'll help avoid injury for sure.
Oh, yeah, cool. I'd love that.
Yeah. And training properly. Because when I look at the injuries I've had, there's not always a reason, but there's almost always an obvious reason. I tore just tiny grade 1 muscle tears, not a big deal at all. But exactly the same spot on the same hamstring, doing the same exercise with the same rep range. So I did that the second time. I was doing standing leg curls for sets of 6. And then tore it again in exactly the same way that I did it the first time. And I thought, if I was to do sets of 6 on standing leg curls a third time, I might be a stupid person. So I don't do that anymore. And so that's another thing that I would say, is that some exercises tend to lend themselves to different rep ranges. Like ask someone what their 1 rep max is on lateral raises. Like, it's absurd.
Yeah.
And doing 6 rep standing leg curls is probably dumb too. There's probably no need for that.
Yeah. I don't think I really have a lot of injuries nowadays, which is great. But when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about when I was a gymnast and sort of all the injuries that I had. And that makes sense because it's like overuse injuries because of the volume of training we would do, like 3 hours every day. And then on Saturdays, like 5 hours, and just like 1 rest day, so like Sunday. And so like lots of ankle problems, lots of ankle strapping. That's like a constant thing. And then also knee, Osgood-Schlatter's disease. That was pretty bad. And I think all those things, and then lots of people also had shoulder strapping going on. So it's like all the joints were always strapped. Everything was strapped. And then some people had like bad shin splints as well from all the like tumbling work, things like that.
Yeah. Well, it just looks like you're having 3 hours of experiencing a car crash every day.
Yeah.
Without a car.
It's
You're
a lot.
just smashing your body around. So yeah, shit's going to hurt. There's probably a misconception that a lot of non-athletic people have about athletes. Like when you're actually a competitive athlete, something always hurts. Like UFC fighters talk about it all the time. They've never entered the cage without an injury. Like something hurts somewhere all the time when you're pushing at that level.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying is like don't push out. Like you can still train around injuries. Like you don't have to give up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, if you have a knee injury, there are certain exercises you want to avoid. But then, you know, you can do heaps of other stuff and obviously upper body and stuff like that. So, yeah, if you do have an injury, you can still train around it with the right advice and guidance, I think. So there's no need to give up.
Yeah, I guess just to finish off that point on preventing injuries and what training properly means. There's just training properly is 2 words, but it can actually mean a hell of a lot. And so I've already mentioned appropriate exercise selection, appropriate rep range, which means load, also the programming itself. So are you doing 1 rep max of everything every day? Well, obviously that's ridiculous. You can't do that.
Is that what powerlifters do?
No, they do periodized training.
Okay.
So they'll go, I mean, there's various schools of training in powerlifting. But generally speaking, they'll do something like 4 weeks where they do higher volume stuff week 1 and then more intensity, and then they'll retest their 1 rep max or almost their 1 rep max or something. And then they'll have a deload and then they'll go again. So their intensity level is up and down all through the year. And then they'll have specific peaking protocols so that when they have to be their absolute strongest on comp day, they're going to lift something, hopefully, that they've never lifted before. Like that's generally the way it goes, I think. Not having done it, but I know a bunch of them. So they'll be sort of building a foundation of strength that they can then capitalize on that day. And then what I do with my clients as a general rule is daily undulating periodization. So all through the week, there's high and low levels of intensity all the time. And the average level of intensity isn't that high so that you're not burning out. And it enables you to keep going for longer before you need to do a deload thing. So if you're doing the powerlifting stuff and you are doing a week where everything is triples and then a week where everything is singles, the next week's going to have to be pretty relaxed. But if most of your sets most of the time are 10, 12, 15 reps, and there's a few in there, the heavy ones are only 5 or 6. Like, when was the last time you saw a program written by me that has less than 5 reps in it? Like, it doesn't. And then in a whole week of training, there'll only be 1 or 2 exercises that are 5 or 6 reps. Everything else is higher than that. And so that way you can sustain that consistent training, which is what's going to get you the results over time, without burning out as quickly. You still need to deload every now and then. And so now we're talking about avoiding burnout rather than avoiding injury. You still need to deload every now and then that will accelerate when you're in a deficit. So when you don't have the energy. So you were talking about what you were doing with your clients, and it's sort of you implied that I haven't slept, that they're in a deficit, which is a reasonable, assumption for us and the clientele we have. But obviously deficit means a lack of energy. So you are missing energy and you are training like a beast. So that's going to bring forward the point at which you are burnt out, tired, broken, and over it.
I guess you could also feel burnt out if you were doing the same shit over and over again and then not getting any results. And then you're just like sick of the gym and you're sick of your training program.
Psychological burnout, 100%.
And you don't want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. And I think that...
I'm sure that would happen to bikini competitors and stuff like that.
If they're losers.
Yeah.
That right there is a way bigger concern, I think. So much of being a personal trainer working on somebody's physical body is really working on their mind.
Yeah. So would you say you would change training programs just for that purpose sometimes?
Pretty much.
Yeah, to prevent burnout of the mental kind when they're just like over it.
Yep.
Even though the program is probably still working really well if they're achieving progressive overload.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. And so the daily undulating periodization makes things less repetitive and less boring as well. So it's more like a varied diet of exercises and training intensities to make it a little bit less samey and boring. So you can, again, stretch it out. And then the coaching is, I'm bored. Shut up and do it. I hate you. Yeah, but you're still going to pay me next week. And then... I hope. And then... You force them to stick to the same program for months longer than they want to. And then when they finally rise up and rebel with pitchforks and torches is when I change the program. Because if they're motivated, if they are competitors, they are still putting in the effort.
Yeah.
And the effort plus sensible training equals results. So, like, you're still getting results. So there's no physical reason to change the program. It's just that you're bored and sick of it.
Yeah.
And then if you get so bored and sick of it that you stop putting in the effort, as you say, you lose your enthusiasm for it. Okay, now it's a problem in the physical realm. So the psychology is now affecting your behavior, and then your behavior is what determines your outcomes. So, all right, now we need to change the program to fix your psychology. And then you get the little messages, oh my God, leg day 3 is a killer. I love it, blah, blah, blah. And then they're excited about training again.
Yeah, renewed excitement about training.
So now they're going to
get to do something different.
Get better results again.
I have a question. When we went to compete in Italy and Simone won Miss Universe in fitness, how long was she on that training program that she won on? She looked amazing, like just outstanding.
Just outstanding. I'd have to go back and look, but so I'm going to make it up. I'm going to guess.
Okay.
But it would be 7 or 8 months.
Yeah. Okay, people.
Of the same training program.
There you go. You heard it. 7 or 8 months. And that's what it takes to look that fucking good. And Simone's one of those people who just do the same thing over and over again.
She's a
just
machine.
That's what she is told to do.
So 7 or 8 months on the same training program, because she would have done... Did she do bikini in season B the year before?
Yes, I think
2018? Because that was 2019.
I can't remember.
Maybe she didn't. She just did. Yeah, she did. So she was doing bikini at the end of that year. So then the program would have changed because we're like, okay, you're hulking out too much. You're getting too jacked for bikini.
Yeah.
So in October, November of 2018, I would have just reverse engineering what I did. I'm not remembering this, but this is what I would have done. October, November 2018, I would have gone, all right, if you're going to go for fitness next year, then we need to train differently. So there would have been a training program then. And then I bet it didn't change from October, November to June.
Yeah.
I do remember the macros though, or actually not the macros, but the calories. There were 3.
3 different.
She did a chunk of her diet on 2,000 calories, most of the diet on 1,800 calories, and then like 3 or 4 weeks on 1,600 calories.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's in the space of 6 months.
Yeah. It's very impressive. Yeah.
So, well, it's impressive because people have all of these wrong ideas and notions.
But they do. No, but they really do. People be like, so I need a program change every week. I'm like, well, no, you definitely don't. And I don't know where they got this idea. Maybe Instagram.
Yeah, that's a whole different topic. Like, where do people get their friggin' ideas from? It may be from not getting results and then finding reasons why. Like we've spoken about this before, where they just invent reasons why they're not getting results. And if you hit your macros and train, you're going to get results. So if you're not getting results, therefore you're not hitting your macros and training. That's what's actually happening.
Yeah.
But then you think, I'm eating 1,200 calories and I lift weights. And it's like you see all these granite girls and their incredible transformations, their incredible bodies, and what do they say? Oh, I hit macros and train. And then you see 80% of people in the gym who look exactly the same that they've looked for the last 3 to 5 years, and they lift weights too. So you're doing the same thing. So then people go, it's just algebra equation. Okay, there's weights on both sides of the equation, so that's not it. And I need to come up with some other variable as to why, Schwarzenegger said I need to confuse the muscles. And, they just go off on all manner of tangents. And people love to try and micromanage the macros as well. It's like, well, I weigh 500 grams less this week, so should my macros change? I just put that graph up of Tracy Lee's progress.
Yeah.
You saw that in Figure Club? How many kilos down is she?
I don't know. You should know that.
13 kilos. I told you I haven't slept.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, everyone. I'm here to do the main work.
Yeah,
today.
You're supposed to be carrying this stuff. Not picking on me. So she's dropped about 13 kilos from February to June.
Now.
And one set of macros. And if you look at the graph, it's the same rate of change. And people think, I need to change my protein by 2 grams and stuff like that.
Said she needed to cut out carbs because it was her birthday and I guess she had some birthday cake, and then she's like, okay, I need to do no carbs the rest of the week. I'm like, no, you just need to hit your macros.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that either, of selective deprivation, or I don't know, is it punishment? No carbs.
Well, there's some sort of tactical macro hoarding, and then there's...
You can do that. I usually will plan ahead.
And then there's eating disorder stuff.
Yeah, no, I will make people plan ahead if they need to macro hoard for a special event, like a wedding or whatever that they're worried about and they know they won't be able to hit the macros. That's fine. But, yeah, no.
Punishing yourself after the fact.
Yeah.
If it was unplanned, is a slippery slope. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, that's macros. What were we talking about?
Anyway, I have some other
burnout
tips.
or something?
Yeah, I have some other tips as
Deloads?
well
That's what we were
to
talking about.
prevent injury. My other tips are active recovery, which is walking. So do a bit more walking, and then also mobility and stretching and things like that. So maybe Pilates and yoga or stretching. The awesome new thing that they have in Bali is there's a new places opening up. So there's a new one called Bend in Purana, and you go there and someone stretches you.
Right.
And they do stretching classes, which is great if you're getting old and you need help with your mobility and you wake up and your neck's hurting. No, I know what it feels like because that happened to me last week.
Yeah.
That I realized I couldn't turn to the
And you
right.
need to go to this new place, even though you live practically next door to a stretching gym.
Oh, that's right. I do go to the Russians, but then I always feel bad for making them speak English. The other day I went to the Russian stretching class, and she spoke Russian to me.
Because you're obviously
straight
Russian.
away, and then she just assumed that I knew what she was saying, and I was just like, okay, sure.
No one feels bad for Russians ever. What are you talking about?
No, the Russians are good at stretching and gymnastics and stuff like that. Well, I just remember our Russian gymnastics coaches, Olga and...
Olga. Perfect.
Something else. Sasha and Olga.
Sasha and Olga.
And then you fall off the bars and then...
They hit you with a stick?
Completely wind yourself unable to get up, and they're just like, get up. Get up. They just don't care. But then they're
famously warm and loving people.
A lot of those girls went to the Commonwealth Games and the Olympics, so...
Yeah, right.
Not me, though. I went to the bikini stage.
Yeah.
I went in the other direction.
Yeah.
So... Then I wanted to talk to you about creatine and how creatine can also help prevent injury.
Really?
Yes.
But I thought...
So, no, you tell me why you tell your clients to take creatine. What does it do?
Gains, bruh.
Okay, that's not enough information.
It is. It's enough reason to get out of bed. It's enough reason to keep going on with life when you feel like stamped on cat shit. Gains. It's everything.
Oh, yeah. So oral creatine might reduce the frequency of dehydration, muscle cramping, and injuries to the muscles, bones, ligaments, tendons, and nerves. Okay, that makes sense.
Does it?
Yep. But also, even more exciting is that creatine helps cognitive performance. This is the new research that has come out.
Yep.
If you are sleep deprived and take creatine, it essentially removes that sleep deprivation that has happened.
So you never have to sleep again if you're on creatine?
No, it's just, it can make you like back to normal in a way.
So you never have to sleep again?
No, that's not what I said, people.
That's what you said.
And then also, so what it does is decreases adenosine in the brain, the buildup of adenosine.
Of course it does.
Which is a molecule that like helps you get to sleep, to go to sleep. And taking creatine has now been found to improve sleep duration. So if you're one of those people who is like always like having shit sleep, like 5 hours, and that's like your normal amount of sleep, which is not good for you. Nope. You're going to die young.
Yep.
And then you start taking creatine, it can really help improve your sleep. And also on the days that you're lacking in sleep, you'll function better cognitively. Like you'll be able to perform more normally. Your brain is still, it's like repairing better. And it also improves memory. In some of the studies that they've recently done, it can improve your memory. So that's obviously cognitive. And then speaking firsthand from experience, not my experience, from my client's experience. So one of my clients,
Firsthand from somebody else's experience, go on.
So one of my clients, she has always just had like really terrible sleep, like 5 hours per night all the time, and I guess like insomnia, and then sort of like taken lots of sort of sleeping drugs over time to try and like go to sleep, fall asleep, stay asleep. And then I guess like maybe 2 months ago, I increased her creatine from 5 grams to 7 grams, and she told me last week that her sleep has improved significantly since that change.
That is crazy.
So like the duration of her sleep and the quality. And also it seems like she's probably got better energy just during the day. For the people as well who have those really busy jobs and lifestyles and you're trying to fit in your training around that and you've got like a lot going on, you definitely need to be taking creatine. Not just for the muscle growth benefits, but also for everything else.
Yeah, it really sounds like you're doing an infomercial. Like you're about to like, there's going to be a link for Becky Lou creatine.
I wish that I made my own Becky Lou Fit creatine now, because I'm only just realizing how important creatine is, I feel like.
Right.
For everything else. Like, yes, we know it's the only real supplement that has, evidence-based research done that says it helps you grow your muscles faster, basically. Yeah?
2 thumbs up.
So that's why bodybuilders love it. But then if it has the potential to improve cognitive function and then potentially prevent dementia because it's preventing memory loss, that's a big fucking deal. But then also if you like can't sleep or you've had trouble sleeping, and it can improve that, then wow, there's like more and more reasons to take it.
I wonder if, just thinking out loud, people who take creatine sleep better, and if they do that for decades, then they don't get dementia as much because they've slept better.
Well, there's not enough longitudinal studies done on that yet.
Of course not.
Because
Yeah, but it really is the wonder supplement, hey?
Yeah, like because people will be like, take L-carnitine. It's like,
yeah, maybe.
Dumb. Take, what other dumb subs are there?
Glutamine.
I mean, that's good for your stomach, gut health.
Is it?
Your gut lining. Yes, but not a lot else.
Right.
Well, not really to do with muscle growth.
No.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So you need to be taking creatine, especially during this time in your life when you're experiencing sleep deprivation from the volume of work you're doing. So it's not just for your bodybuilding.
Yeah, I really need to be on like 20 grams a day.
Yeah, so more than 5 grams, peoples.
Yeah, but everyone needs to sort of think about adjusting up their dosage. Because I know the NFL with their CTE, their brain injury scandals, they're now using creatine as a prophylactic on their players.
I don't know what that means.
Preventative medicine.
Okay.
And they're taking like 20 grams a day. So,
whoa!
So big dudes who smash their heads into each other.
Yeah.
And it's also like
brain injuries.
it's a size thing as well. Like they're enormous. Those guys are so big. It does kind of seem silly. Like, oh, bikini girl's on 5 grams of creatine, and then Tyrone over here is 300 pounds. Yeah, maybe he could be in a bit more. But yeah, they're doing it for the cognitive benefits and not for the cognitive benefits, for the prevention of those serious brain injuries that so commonly happen when you smash 300-pound dudes head to head 1,000 times a year.
So is that in America or Australia?
In America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they should definitely do it in Australia too.
Nothing's going to help the Australians.
They don't even wear like helmets.
What is there to protect? They're Australian.
Okay. We just offended half our audience.
Really? My mum is half our audience? She probably is. She'll send me an angry message. Actually, Australia is the best country and the best people. Yes, Mum. Righto.
Yes. No. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say about that. You didn't really say anything about creatine, like ATP and all that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it does, isn't it? I mean, that's the primary function. That's why it's famous. It's the original album, but now it's got some new tracks to add to its greatest hits.
It also, in a way, gives you more energy then.
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
that's awesome too.
It upregulates your ability to to store creatine phosphate and then replenish adenosine triphosphate, ATP, faster and more, so that your intra-workout recovery is faster and better. So I think the numbers are roughly, when you do a hard set properly, within 3 minutes you're like 97% recovered. You might be 98% recovered with creatine. So what's going to happen is you'll get an extra rep here and there in those subsequent sets, and then you add up a rep or two here or there on each exercise, on each workout, each week, all year long, and then it will actually be a meaningful chunk of additional training volume load that you've had, in addition to the supersaturation benefits of creatine, where it's going to ram a whole bunch of water and nutrients into your muscles more so than without the presence of creatine. So those two things combined will actually add up to some incremental improvements that are purely the result of taking creatine on its own.
And so obviously Simone took creatine in that prep for Miss Universe.
This is absolutely a creatine infomercial. So
it's not.
Yeah. Basically, Simone is lazy and lucky, and she took creatine, and then she won Miss Universe. You can too if you buy Becky Lou creatine.
Look out. That might be my next best thing.
It could be. Well, I'm convinced you're selling me.
Creatine.
Hey?
Nothing. Talking shit.
Okay.
So that's all I had on that.
Right. So
did you have anything else you wanted to add?
To add to that, to either creatine, to injury prevention, or burnout?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the other thing is there is some connection between burnout and injuries, in that if you are overtrained, starting to get aches and pains and niggles are a sign that you are overtrained to begin with. And it really is all linked, because what's going to happen is you'll get like mental depression type symptoms, loss of enthusiasm, depressed energy levels, and you'll start to sort of, things will get achy and breaky and hurty and stuff. And that's
achy breaky heart.
There's no singing on the podcast.
That song. Just don't think you'd understand. What were we talking about? Achy breaky because you're overtraining, and then
so that's a sign that it's time for a deload and whatnot. And then when it comes to burnout from dieting, like a protracted period of a giant fat loss mission, diet breaks are the way to do that.
Yes.
And I'm a little bit in two minds about, so should you be consistent always, or should you do sort of burst sprints? Because I've seen people do both. I've seen people fail at trying both, and I've seen people succeed at doing both. Like the number of people now who have been like seriously overweight and then do a Granite 8-week challenge, or do a blitz, or now we'll do accidentally hot, and they'll just lose an enormous amount of weight in 8 weeks, and then relax for a week or two, and then do another 8 weeks. And they just do this thing over a period of a year, 4 or 5 8-week challenges, and then the whole year is this enormous transformation, and they gave themselves these little breaks in between.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think it is important to listen to your body and then communicate that with your coach if you have a coach.
Yeah, and then that's a competent coach will be a good sounding board to help you navigate that gray area of, am I being a pussy, or am I being smart when I back off?
Yep.
And so those are the sorts of conversations that we will have with our clients, where we'll sort of ask more probing questions. Like, oh, what about this? What about that? What about this? And then have a look at the totality of the situation and how they're feeling and how they're performing. And then you go, yeah, okay. I mean, I've got a guy in Canada who's done amazing results in terms of getting leaner and growing muscle at the same time. And his strength gains have just been slowing down for the last few weeks. So each check-in, I'm like, we're getting closer and closer each week. At some point, even without being proactive, like, we will be reactive to the situation and go, right, the strength gains have stopped, starting to feel like shit. We can't keep pushing on with this fat loss phase any further. We can't keep the same macros any longer. Not if we've got a bigger, longer term picture of growing more muscle and getting on stage later on. Now,
is that the long-term goal?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So because the long-term goal is muscle and impressive physique, that will now take priority over getting leaner. So if the priority right now was get shredded right now, which is, comp prep, then because it's the priority, you deprioritize health, well-being, strength gains, everything else, just to get the condition. But that's an aberration, and it's a short-term thing, as opposed to what's actually good for your long-term health and sustainable as a long-term practice and for longer-term goals.
Okay, cool.
I think I had something to send you.
Did you have anything funny? Because, I have some funnies, but it's...
Well, because you brought up...
Okay, cool. You have something to do with it.
The Russians and stretching.
Oh, yeah.
Pump up the volume.
Where did you send it?
Instagram, sorry. Do you want to show your ridiculous phone cover to the camera?
Can they see that? That's a Labubu.
What do the other kids say about that at recess?
It's awesome.
Yeah? You're like the coolest kid in the playground now? Pretty cool.
Okay.
Bali is not a real place, because tell me why. Tell me why I went to a stretching class today, and the ratio was 13 Russian baddies to little old me. 1-3 to 1. My American black ass was stretching in there like, goodness gracious. God bless Indonesia. It's not a real place. But you ain't gonna take that flight. You ain't built like that. You ain't gonna come spend 32 hours on the plane, go from LAX to Tokyo to Jakarta. You ain't built like that, buddy. So I'm gonna stay over here. and enjoy my 13-to-1 ratio. It's a passport. Come on.
That is true. There's occasionally 1 or 2 men in that top stretching full body stretch class.
Yep.
And it's weird. But lol, he enjoys it.
He's having a good time.
Yeah.
Another one. Another Bali one.
There's more funnies.
Bali, Bali, mommy love me. Bali, Bali, mommy love me. Bali, Bali, tell my kasi. Oh, Bali, Bali, mommy love me. La da do, la da do.
I'm annoyed.
She seems really cool. Why aren't you friends with her?
Nope. Okay.
Okay, one more.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, seeing you've got such a great sense of humour.
Oh, hold on. Fuck.
Oh, you see, you want to watch that all day. You can just get it, hopefully that gets stuck in your head.
Okay.
Or this.
The internet is
Oh.
that's such a true shame. Okay, I get it. It's a rendition of Beat It by this Chinese lady.
Auntie Rufin something.
Wow, interesting like movements too. Peanut.
Oh, so you're into this one.
I don't really understand.
The singing does actually sound a lot like yours.
Yeah, it does. Maybe that's why Laura puts her fingers in it when I sing to her at bath time.
True.
Stop. Okay.
True story. All right. I guess that's all we've got time for then.
Yeah, I think that's it.
If you're looking for no bullshit advice, training programs, or whatever, hit the links below. Till then, see you next time.
Bye.